Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to do the Tabled Riffle Shuffle, which looks like this. It's a really great shuffle. It's also a pretty common shuffle, especially if you go to a casino or any serious card game. You'll typically see the cards being shuffled using this method. And the reason for that is because the faces of the cards remain hidden throughout the shuffle, whereas in some other shuffles, some of the cards may flash. Some of the faces of the cards may flash during the shuffle. So it's a safe shuffle in that regard. Now, before I get into how to do the shuffle, what I'll say is that it's much easier to do this if you have a soft surface or a surface that has a bit of cushion to it. So in this case, I'm using a card mat, but you could use a carpet, a mattress, a sofa, or most of the card tables these days have that velvet on it. And the reason for that is because the first step when doing the shuffle is to pick up the deck off the surface of the table just a little bit. Okay, and that's easy if you have something soft, but I can show you that if you have a hard surface, such as glass or whatever else it may be, it becomes very difficult to pick up all of the cards. Usually a few cards will remain on the table. It's just tough to get underneath all of the cards. If you have to work on a hard surface, it's really not a big deal. There's a way around it. All you do is you take the cards and you slide them backwards until you hit the edge of the table. Then you pick it up and then bring it back forward. Alright, so now I'm elevating the deck slightly above the table with my right fingers. And then you can just continue on with the shuffle as normal. Let me replace the mat and let's talk about how to do the shuffle. Okay, so you're going to start off with the deck in this position right here. Then I approach the deck from both sides like this, and this is how I position my fingers. First finger's on top, thumbs at the back, middle and ring fingers at the front edge, and my pinkies are just hanging out. First step, we already mentioned this, you're just going to pick up the cards a little bit off the surface of the table with your right hand. Next step, break off about half the cards with your left thumb, and then slide those cards to the left, and you're going to end in this position right here. So you'll notice that the cards are at a bit of an angle so that you have this V shape going on. Now before we talk about the shuffle, what you need to know how to do is this riffling action. Okay, so let's just focus on the right hand for now. What you need to be able to do is riffle the cards in one continuous smooth stream. Okay, you need to be able to make the cards fall off your thumb singly. And this will take just a little bit of practice. When you first start, you might have kind of a clumpy riffle, not very smooth. But with time, you'll acquire that touch, and you should be able to riffle the cards just like this. So for finger positions, I have my thumb right about here, which is, I guess, slightly below the halfway point down the length of the card. For my first finger, the entire first joint here is resting flat on top of the deck, and then I have my middle and ring fingers at the front edge. Okay, now what's going to happen is you're going to pull up on all of the cards with your thumb, and then you're going to push down slightly with your first finger, and that creates tension across these 2 points, or between these 2 points. Now, if you release tension just a little bit with your thumb, the cards will start to fall. Okay? Now, it really doesn't take much force to do this. You can do this with a very light touch. It just takes a little bit of tension to create that riffle. So just practice doing this. And your exact finger positions really don't matter. This is how I do it, but you could do it up here. You could do it at the extreme back end. It really is just a personal preference. You should just see what's most comfortable for you. For me, this is most comfortable right about here. And of course you need to be able to do the same exact thing with your left hand. Alright, now once you're comfortable with that, you're just going to bring your hands slightly together and then do those riffles at the same time. And the cards will fall on top of each other. They will overlap, and thus creating a shuffle. Alright? So once you're at this point, all you're going to do is rotate your hands inward slightly, and that will square the cards along this axis. And then to square the cards completely, I just do this pinching motion. So I have my thumbs at the back and my middle fingers at the right and left edges, and then just pushing it. And that will square the cards completely. And that is the Tabled Riffle Shuffle. Let me do the whole thing in slow motion for you. Alright, now one last note is that this entire shuffle is done with a very light touch. At no point is a lot of force needed. Okay, especially during the squaring up action. The fact that these cards are interlaced, it creates quite a bit of friction between the cards. So really, the more forcefully you handle the cards when they're in this situation, the more friction there will be. So you especially want to have a light touch during the square up process. It's just very gently square up the cards this way, and then even when you do the squeeze square up, do it with a very light amount of force, and then the card should be able to square up nicely. Alright, so I hope that helps, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.